Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the T-44-100, a vehicle that I never really understood why it exists in the game. If we go and take a look on Blitz stars, you'll see that statistically, it's worse than the T-44 in almost every single aspect. It's got the exact same damage per minute, it's got 2 degrees less gun depression, it's got a worse power to weight ratio by quite a bit because, of course, it's got that extra spaced armor on the sides. And of course, you'd think, because of that spaced armor on the sides, you'd make the vehicle a lot better. It'd give you a lot more ricochets and bounces. Really, though, yeah, it doesn't. It's bad all around. And the mod one, of course, as well, which I had in that comparison, sure, it's got 100 less DPM, sure, its dispersion's about 20% worse all around, but the tank's actually got armor, which begs the question, what does the 44-100 even exist for? It doesn't have armor, it doesn't have gun depression, and it doesn't even have great DPM. If you want DPM and armor, you could go play a vehicle, let's say, like the 59 Patton or the T95 E2. Even though I hate the E2, at least it does have good DPM and good mobility. This tank just struggles in almost every aspect, but, well, we're going to be trying it in today's video just to see how poor or how good it can actually play, because, granted, while it isn't the best tank, it still can get some good games out. I like the gun on it, and I love the way it looks. I really do think that the Soviet-style designs, especially with the spaced armor on the side of this tank, is very nice, and this vehicle does have one advantage going for it, and that would be enemy T-49s. T-49s cannot penetrate the side of this tank pretty much at all, which is great. That means that you're pretty impervious to some big shells that would normally rip into this tank. There's a nice shot into the FCM-50T. Now, what's funny is that the front of the tank is penetrable by T-49, but the side is not. So, if a 49 is actually aiming at you, you have to turn the tank to the side more than to the front. It's kind of weird, but we're getting some nice shells out. The enemy T-49's making some really weird moves here, and, well, I'm, of course, going to not penetrate an HE apparently on the side of him. That didn't make sense, but, well, I guess I'll question that logic later. I wanted to get a shell into that Foch, but it looks like he's not going to be poking. Oh, you know what? He might poke it. Foch, boy, are you going to do it? We've also got, like, the M6 over here, which, yeah, that was never going to hit. But, oh well, we'll reload here. 5 more seconds, and we should be able to get a pretty easy shell into a vehicle like the Standard B. Hello, comrade. Do you like big shell? I bet you do. There you go. 300 damage. Then we reload. Another couple seconds here. Now, I actually am liking this tank right now. It's not doing too bad. We're getting some shells out. You can see the accuracy is not terrible, but again, like, we were pretty up angle there, and the fact that that's still penned us is kind of sad. So, well, there went the one tank on the enemy team. We also got that FCM, which we somehow missed. I don't really know that part, but well, oh well. Let's make our way over here. Speed, come on. We can get a nice shot into the FCM. Yeet! There you go. There's a decent penetration. Let's keep moving our way on forwards. This FCM's probably going to die. Actually, I guess we get a little bit more of an alpha shot into him. All right, I'll leave my teammates up to that because I, of course, wanted the damages. So what do we have? We got a Tiger 2 and an M6 A2E1 experimental over here. The TVP was actually killed somehow on our team. I don't even know how that's possible, to be completely honest. But nonetheless, let's get some shells into the rear of the Tiger. There's one. Let's put on my adrenaline as well, of course. And, well, let's keep on getting these shells out. I think that Tiger wanted me to ram into him, but that didn't really happen too well for him there. But nonetheless, we're just going to deal about 2,500 damage in this game, which, of course, isn't bad. We did decent. We played the tank correctly. I was able to get some shells out onto the enemy team. Granted, the enemy team kind of sucked. You could see that it can play okay. It can get some decent games out, but the armor just doesn't work on the tank. You didn't get to see a game where your team falls apart, but, like, the hull armor is 90 millimeters, and the turret is 120. And as you can see, the turret has no mantlet, unlike the T-54 Mod 1, where this thing's actually got a really, really strong mantlet. The 44-100 doesn't. So it just gets penned through every time if you've got more than about 200 millimeters thick. Now, talking on the Mod 1, this vehicle looks almost identical to the T-44-100. In fact, they're based off the exact same hull, just one has weaker armor. And this tank, of course, doesn't have the side skirts, which means that it can be penned by vehicles like the T-49. However, the frontal hull is way thicker. It's, in fact, so thick that vehicles like the T-49 cannot penetrate it whatsoever in the front. Vehicles like the T-32 need to load premium if they want to penetrate the upper plate. Vehicles like the Carnarvon will struggle, but vehicles like the T-30, the 54, yeah, those Tier 9s, that's a really unfortunate lineup for me because those things will butter through my armor like no problem whatsoever. Against Tier 9s, this is where the Mod 1 kind of struggles. Sure, you can get some bounces, but overall, it's going to struggle quite a bit. The turret on this tank, though, is very, very nice. While you do have that cupola on the roof, it's a pretty small cupola, and I wouldn't expect that many shells to hit it. Yeah, it's a really nice tank. I used to hate this vehicle. When it first came out and Bushka made his video saying it was OP, I never understood why. And I can kind of see why now, because of course it's got very, very good armor for a tier 8 medium, like fantastic armor. And you don't, of course, normally get that on a tier 8 medium. So it does have a lot of good things going for it. Let's go for the, well, I guess we can get a shot into that T-32. I couldn't really hit that T-30 anymore at that angle, so... well, we're getting some shells out here, nonetheless. Let's aim it on that T-30 again. What the absolute heck, Wargaming? What was that? All right, well, let's reload here another 5 seconds before we can get a shell out. Obviously, with that E75 exposing his lower plate at an angle like that, we're easily able to penetrate him. And with that, we're pretty easily stopping an entire halt on the enemy team. Now, we could try and penetrate this guy's cupola, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Haha. That's right, get on my level. Oh, gee, we're actually doing pretty dang solid here. Now, that T-32 is a very, very tricky pen, and oh, wow. I did not realize Z75 had that much turret armor. That's actually pretty insane, but you know what? We're going to try and get another shell out onto the T-32. Maybe, just maybe. Come on, T-32, show me your side. There you go, swiggity swooty, give me that booty. And we're not doing bad. We're at 1,200 damage so far. You can see this is where that solid turret armor does do decent. I'm not super worried at all about the enemy team. Normally, you're worried about being penned, but yeah, this tank, I really don't worry in the slightest about being penned in the side. I really want to reload that guy, but no, looks like we're not getting that shot out. We do have the side of this T-32 again, though, and he's going to expose that to me, letting me get another easy shell out. Already, we've taken quite a bit off of the enemy team. We've got vehicles like that Carnarvon off to the side, but yeah, we're not able to get that one out, but we can get that shell out onto the lower plate. That T-32, gosh, is the enemy team ever so bad. We got the T-30 right on the front, and yeah, that hurt a lot. That actually, like, ripped off all of my HP. We went from being about full health to not being full health pretty dang quickly, but nonetheless, we're getting shells out. Let's get a nice shot into the side of that T-32's turret. And, yeah, hopefully we should be able to finish him off here. One shell right into the lower plate, and there we go. Nice shots coming out all round. But because we lost so much health there, that's not great for me. Obviously, you don't want to lose big chunks of health, especially in a pretty beneficial tier 8 tank. We got the 49 over here. There's a nice shot for 350. Oh, Yag Tiger, why? Why did you let him pen you? Oh, gee, that's not what I want for my tier 8 games. We can't pen that 54 at all. And he, what the, why does this game hate me? That's what I always want to know. Oh, we're at a premium. Oh, that's just fantastic. I was wondering why I couldn't pen him. Well, we're just screwed. Well, as you can see, this is a very good tank, and it gets some pretty solid games out. It does its job. But, unfortunately, when you're up against vehicles like the T-54 and your team sucks, the enemy team sucked, to be fair, as well. The enemy team is awful. But the fact that I was able to single-handedly take out pretty much 3 tier 8 tanks, or not tier 8, even 2 tier 9 and a tier 8, and my team still sucks as bad. Like, what is this T-92 doing? There you go. You got it out, but good luck winning this engagement. Yeah, teams make me depressed in Blitz. That's all I can say. But hopefully, all of you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see a what the heck Object 704, how did you manage to bounce it? Okay. Hopefully all of you enjoyed today's video. As you can see, the mod one's a good tank. T-54 is apparently full speed on the move, can pen you, but it does do a very solid job. Against the E75 there, against the T-32, I was fully confident and competent that the armor on the Mod 1's turret would get bounces, unlike my Yag Tiger there, yeah. But hopefully all of you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.